Kolich, the first pairing, forehand, and Goldberg, the second pairing, and Minks also on defense for Team White. Team Blue, we have DeCreasy playing left wing, Eliason playing center, Proctor playing right wing. Then on the second line, it is Lindell on left wing, Matthews at center, Simmer on the right wing, and the third line is Williams on left wing, and Malashevsky in the center, and Christensen on the right wing. The defense is going to be, and I can pull down here. Let me remove that and pull up that blue team here. The defense is Levinson and McCarthy. Then second line for the defense is Izzy German and Bryce and Reed. So looks like things are coming up there. Things are getting going. Let's play I Can't Turn You Loose really quickly as we take a look at just a couple more things, and then we will get going with this scrimmage. And thank you very much for watching and cheering wherever you are at. We are very, very grateful for that and your support of the team. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
And we are live here at Yost Ice Arena as the team's wearing their brand new Threads, beautiful hockey sweaters that they have on. It is the blue versus the white team today, and we will check that out and enjoy a wonderful scrimmage with these squads as they have 3 minutes and 15 seconds counting down. As we said earlier, 8 new freshmen with the team, 1 grad student with the team new, 3 seniors who graduated last year. So Again, we hope they're doing well and hope they have fantastic, fantastic whatever's going on with them. Hopefully it is going absolutely well for them. Just trying to get a couple overlays working here and pull up the scoreboard and see. Again, it is the blue and the white team, but I have maize for the white team over here. So hopefully that Team Blue logo will come off there in just a moment. Perfect. There we go. As I didn't see, I know Ponith is playing on one squad for a little bit and then another squad for a little bit. I didn't see who else was going to play goal. I believe Goldman hopped between the pipes for a game last year. I believe Ponith starting over with the blue team, it looks like. As it's always good to get back here into Yost Ice Arena, looking down on Red Berenson rink here, all the way up at the press box. If you do want to reach out to the broadcast, you can reach out to arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. Again, hard for us to check that as we're going throughout the game, but I'll do my best, especially at intermissions, to go and take a look at that email. So you always love to hear from you amazing folk out there. Thank you for watching wherever you are at. And if you can, come on down, get to a game. All the home games this season are going to be at Yost, which is fantastic. No more having to, at least so far, no more having to go out to Canton to check out the game. Absolutely nothing wrong with the Arctic edge of Canton, but it's always nice to be in the old barn here on campus for this Michigan women's hockey team. As again, if you haven't seen the tweet, go check out. They have a beautiful video introducing these new jerseys. It's been several years. The last time they did new jerseys was over 10 years ago. So very exciting, and they actually have their names on the back, which is excellent. They have the winged helmets. They were not able to have those last year. There were some stickers that ended up coming off, but they have the beautiful new winged helmets on again, so that always makes it just much better to see those winged helmets skating down the ice here at Yost Ice Arena. As the coaching staff down on the different benches, as it is Michigan versus Michigan for the scrimmage. Now, again, as we were talking about the upcoming 5 games here, the game on Thursday, that was going to be versus University of Windsor. I'm not sure the time. That will now be versus Bell Tire. But then Michigan goes on the road. They will be out at Mount Clemens Ice Arena to take on Michigan State University. That on October 1st. That will be a 2:30 p.m. game over at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. So not at Yost, not at Munn, but over at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Then on Sunday, October 2nd, they will be at Adrian over at beautiful Arrington Ice Arena. That is a 7 p.m. game. That's not an easy place to play, not an easy team to play. Then they're on the road October 8th and October 9th, Saturday and Sunday, versus Lake Superior State up at Norris Center. So get out to the Sioux, check it out. I'm excited. Somehow I've never, ever gotten up to Lake State to see a game, so I'm excited about that. That's going to be a 7 p.m. game on October 8th and a noon game on October 9th, Sunday. So you can go find a hotel out there and still get back in plenty of time for the work week. So I'm not sure if we're going to have any national anthem or anything like that. Again, going through Team White, playing to our left. The forwards are Evans, Rubin, Swanson, Manning, Shabayons, Gargiulo, Goldman, and Thomas. Defense is Katie German, Kolwich, Forehand, Goldberg, and Mings. Over on the blue team, it is DeCreasy, Eliason, Proctor, Lindahl, Matthews, Simmer, Williams, Malashevsky, and Christian are the forwards. Defense for the blue teams are Levinson, McCarthy, Izzy German, Bryce, and Reed. As everyone lined up we can bring up a little bit of the public addressing notes are here. So Mariah Evans skates out. Rubin skates out, starting for Team White. Gargiulo coming out for Team White, starting. Goldman comes skating out for the defense. Katie German skating out. Ashley Manning being announced, coming out. Coach skating out for the white team, introducing the entire team's. Anna Thomas skating out as they're giving everyone big rounds of applause. Swanson comes out, good to meet the entire team. For all the great fans here. And Ceballos skates out to the blue line. Forehand coming out for the white team. Goldberg coming out to the blue line for the white team. And Means skates out to the blue line. I did not see who they announced as the goalie. McCarthy skating out for Michigan, for the blue team. Levinson is out to the blue line. Eliason for the blue team comes skating out. Izzy German skates out to the blue line. Proctor, the hero of the game versus Miami of Ohio, scoring the overtime goal, comes out to the blue line. Lindahl comes out to the blue line, freshman for Michigan. Malashevsky, another freshman, skates out to the blue line. Matthews comes out for the blue team. DeCreasy is a grad student from Detroit, Michigan. She skates out to the blue line. Zimmer comes out. Skates out to the blue line. She's from Ann Arbor. Williams skating out for the blue team, comes out to the blue line. Bryce heads out to the blue line. Conniff playing the goaltender on the blue team, at least starting off. And coming out is Christensen. And it looks like Romelius, I believe, is playing the goalkeeper for the white team. We'll see if they have the, everyone turns to the left, taking off the caps for the national anthem. We'll see if we can pull that up on the mic. First time for everyone working out the kinks. We not only we had technical difficulties here. hopefully I got that turned down before the stick slap. As a beautiful, beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner sung live here at Yost Ice Arena. Pulling out all the stops for this wonderful scrimmage. We do have a number of fans who have come into Yost to check out this scrimmage. They have some Michigan women's hockey gear when you come into the right-hand side. It is free for the scrimmage, so please come on down. If you want to know where the majority, most of the folks here on the team are from Michigan. As a matter of fact, there's a number of players who actually grew up in Ann Arbor. Anna Thomas, Izzy German, Katie German, Leslie Reed, Jesse Simmer, and I am missing someone. Mariah Evans all grew up in Ann Arbor. But if you take a look at the next most populated state, it would be Illinois. I have a couple of people out there. As my wife grew up in Illinois. She's all happy as Goldberg is from Deerfield, Illinois. We'll go through some of those, but we're getting ready to go. As it is Rubin in to take that faceoff versus Eliason. The puck comes. Grabbed by the defense, bringing it in. Here comes DeCreasy. That shot, save, swept over on the far side, put right back out through the slot. That pulled down, now racing the other direction. Here comes Swanson. Swanson feeds it over on the far, into the far corner as Evans has it. Evans sweeps back behind the blue goal. Evans comes over on the near side, gets it to the near point for Mings. Mings shot that swept away by Izzy German. Over and along the far side. Proctor gets it back to Izzy German in the far corner. That comes out to the far point. Held in there by Katie German, who took a shot that just went wide to the near side. All the way back out to Mings at the near point. That puck swept into the neutral zone. Gargiulo trying to pull it back. Gargiulo steals it away from Levinson. She's on the near circle. Gargiulo with a wrister and a save by Poneth. Early action, 24 minutes left to go. As interestingly enough, the clock not counting down with 20 minutes, so we're not having 3 periods. I should have asked. Bryce has it right back behind her own goal. That chipped over to Gargiulo in the near corner. Gargiulo trying to pull that away. Bryce ends up on the ice. That is going to be a whistle, and that is going to be a tripping call. We will have our first power play of the day, and that will be the blue team as Gargiulo goes into the box for 2 minutes for tripping. As the clock is just kind of continuing to count there, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that, see exactly what happens as we learn just like you do. So it is always a fantastic adventure. That face-off in the far face-off circle. That in the white zone, coming all the way back, grabbing it. Izzy German has it in the high slot. Puts it over the puck loose. Moving over as Lindahl has it back to Izzy German. Top of right at the blue line. Over on the far circle. Shot! That comes over on the near side as Levinson puts it right back behind Simmer. Banks it all the way back. Izzy German picks it up as she has it taken away by Rubin. Now put back into the far corner. Izzy German goes underneath the goal line, trying to put a centering pass there. Lindahl chasing it. And pulled from behind by Forehand. Forehand shoots it all the way down the ice and able to clear it. They don't have the penalty up on the clock either, so not sure how long we have left on the power play, but that fed ahead. Here comes Simmer. Simmer on the far circle. Simmer tips it, gets it into the far corner. Whistle there. No, sorry, thought I heard a whistle, but that moved over. Someone just has a whistle pitch scream as Levinson puts it right back behind the goal. Into the far corner is Kolwich. Kolwich has it outside the far circle. Kolwich has that knocked over as Katie German fires it all the way down the ice. That will be a cleared puck as Poneth leaves it back. Pulled back behind as Matthews brings it up the ice. Matthews feeds it over to Malashevsky. Malashevsky, top of the far circle, is Goldman trying to knock that away. Malashevsky now has it. Goldman tips it into the far corner as that is brought back over by Proctor. Proctor has it in the high slot. Proctor coming over onto the near circle. Proctor with the backhanded shot. That out in front on the crease and covered up. Good save. Scoreless so far as the clock counting down with 21 minutes over on that far side. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That to the left of, I believe, Remelius is the keeper. As that knocked off of the, banked off of the end line, still trying to get it in and covered up. Remelius doing a great job as team chipping away at it, finally got a glove on top of it. Face-off comes back to Remelius' left in the far face-off circle as that's Eliason in to take the face-off, pulled away as that's sent back by Williams over to Matthews. Matthews has it outside the far circle, back into the far corner. Moving over to Levinson. Levinson has it, top of the far circle. That banks off the far boards. Coming in with it is Williams and covered up by Remelius. Line changes for both squads as we are now no longer in a penalty situation, power play, as that has expired for the blue team. Again, that wasn't put up on the clock, but Gargiulo out of the box as Malashevsky, that one back to Bryce at the near point. Bryce feeds it over to Malashevsky in the far corner. Malashevsky trying to come back behind the goal, trying to feed it over, that poked away, shot out in front by Lindahl, covered up. The blue team putting some pressure on the white team, forces another face-off in the white team zone. Scoreless so far as Malashevsky in there winning it versus Ceballos, as that will be redropped, went up into the netting. And Malashevsky versus Ceballos. That puck gathered in by Lindahl. Lindahl outside the near circle. Lindahl trying to feed it back behind. Malashevsky into the far corner. Still trying to possess the puck as poked away by Manning. Malashevsky as that was brought back over and fired. That goes wide. Bryce picks it up, puts it back over to Lindahl now. That puck brought all the way down. And able to get to it first was Izzy German to negate icing. That goes back over. Put back behind by Simmer. That puck comes all the way back. Simmer moving it over to Malashevsky. Malashevsky ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl in the near circle. Lindahl sends it back. That pulled away. Here comes the white team as they come over. Thomas gets it into the neutral zone. Eliason gets it the other direction, goes right over the center line. Popped back. Levinson trying to feed it forward for Proctor. Proctor battling right in front of the blue team's bench. Now brought back to the white team's blue line. Katie German puts it deep into the blue team zone. Picked up back there by Levinson. Levinson battling. Thomas puts it into the near corner. Now Mings trying to get to it. Now DeCreasy rims it all the way around the boards, right through center ice. Put deep into the white zone. Banked off of the near boards, right back into the neutral zone. Goldberg feeds it over. And DeCreasy trying to pick it up. Fired by Mings, tipped by Simmer. Now Matthews picks it up and along the far boards. Matthews puts it deep into the zone. That in along the end boards, gathered in. As that's forehand with it. Forehand right at her own goal line. Gets it ahead to Evans. Evans trying to move it over to Ceballos. That banks off, held in by Goldberg right at the blue line, but now that fire deep into the blue team's end. Bryce chasing it all the way down, gets it into the far corner. Evans tries to peel it away. Now coming in as that was grabbed by Swanson. That puck deflects off the far boards all the way back into the neutral zone as the white team gathers it back into their own zone as Holwich feeds it ahead. Here comes Rubens. Rubens, top of the near circle. Rubens through the slot. That comes over to the near point. Rubens rims it all the way back behind the blue team's goal. Now Manning trying to dig it off of the far boards. Manning underneath the goal line. She's pinned against the boards. Goldberg trying to get to it. Rubin comes in to try and pull that away. That puck loose outside the near circle. as Lindahl has it. Lindahl gets it to the blue line. Manning bringing it right in. High slot. Manning with a shot. Ponith with the save. 16:08 up on the clock. And clock not stopping either. As face-off. Sabayon's taking the face-off for the white team. That against Malashevsky. That comes all the way out and along the far boards. As Kolwich trying to pull it away. That held in at the far point. Now controlled by the blue team. Intercepted by Thomas. Thomas had it tipped away. Here comes Sabayons. Sabayons into the near corner. Sabayons banks it back to forehand at the near point. Forehand with a shot that was deflected by Malashevsky. Now Kolwich sends it right back behind Ponith. Trying to rim it around. That went right around the glass. Now fed ahead. Here comes the blue team as Malashevsky gains his own. Malashevsky. High slot. Shot. Walker's save as that put into the near corner. Malashevsky tried to bring it out, but there is a whistle and an illegal body check. As that is going to be a penalty. First one on the blue team, so the white team will be on the power play. As Malashevsky goes into the box. Face-off will be to Ponith's left. Rubin's in to take the face-off as DeCreasy sends it back to the near point. Katie German over to Evans. Evans with a shot that goes wide to the far side. Mings has it outside the far circle. Gets it over to forehand. Forehand over to Katie German. Katie German with a shot from the near point. And knocked down out in front by Swanson. Covered up by Ponith. 14-13 left to go here in that first period. Rubin again in there. Taking the face off, back to Levinson. Levinson back behind her own goal. That over to Proctor. Proctor in the far corner. As that battled, sent back to the near point. Katie German trying to hold it in. That slips through the neutral zone. Back into the white team's end as Romelius trying to get it out. Now DeCreasy has it underneath the near circle. Trying to peel it out of the near corner. Rubin also in there. As that comes away as Evans had it. That sent back out into the neutral zone. Banks off the far boards. Racing over to get it. Swanson. Swanson kicks it back in along the end boards of the blue team zone. Swanson centering attempt. That grab by Simmer. Simmer puts it all the way down and clears it down the ice as that puck skitters back in along the end boards. As Lindahl chasing it down. That's set out to Gargiulo. Gargiulo over to Mings on the near boards into the neutral zone. Mings gets it ahead. Now here comes Sabayons. Sabayons outside the near circle into the blue team zone. Sabayons back behind the goal. As that over to Manning. Manning back over to Sabayons. Sabayons trying to put it right along the blue line, then slips right back out into the neutral zone. Forehand. Banks it off the far boards, trying to get it over to Kolwich. That puck loose right at the center line. Pulled back by Gargiulo. Gargiulo coming down the near side of the ice. Gargiulo gains his own. Gargiulo holds it on the near boards. Now Gargiulo sends it top of the far circle. There's a shot by Kolwich. Saved by Ponith. Backhanded shot. That one saved. The puck loose in the slot. Now on the far circle. That deflects out. Kolwich with a shot that goes wide to the near side. Forehand chases it over. That is poked right to the blue line, but held in by Thomas. Thomas on the near circle. Thomas trying to come over back behind the goal, putting it out in front. That knocked away. Loose and cleared out of the low slot. There's a shot by forehand, deflected. Bryce trying to feed it over to Christensen, who puts it out into the neutral zone. Forehand grabs it right at center ice for the white team. Now Thomas trying to move it over to Goldman. That intercepted, but pulled right back in by Sabayons. Sabayons has it over onto the far circle for Goldman. That deflected as Izzy German got her stick in the way. Bryce has it back behind her own goal. Now that puck into the far corner. Proctor trying to get it out of the zone. That held in. Centering attempt. And covered up by Ponith. 11:33 left to go. Scoreless so far, but lots of good action for this white versus blue squad. If you're taking a look on the scoreboard, the maize is actually the white. Then the blue is, well, the blue. Face-off will be to Ponitz right in the far face-off circle. As that looks like that's going to be Eliason versus Rubin. Puck back outside the far circle. Evans gets it back to the blue line. Now there's a shot by Katie German. That deflects into the far corner. As pulling it back. There's a backhanded shot. Again saved as Katie German came right back out in front. Mings has it at the near point. Mings ricochets it off of the M boards as trying to get over there was Rubin. Rubin ends up falling over the back of, I believe, is that McCarthy? Trying to see, I know McCarthy was getting some medical attention back behind the benches earlier. We hope she's all right. Fantastic player, and I do believe that is McCarthy back in the far corner. Now, that puck won back to the far point as Katie German's shot. That got deflected into the near corner, outside the near circle. That puck gathered in. Manning shoots it just wide to the near side. Eliason has it back behind her own goal into the far corner. That brought ahead. Here comes the blue team as that puck skitters as it deflects off of the near board, sent right back out into the neutral zone. As Ceballos trying to bring it into the zone. Now Manning battling at the near point with Simmer. Eliason trying to poke it out of the boards, off the boards for the blue team. That comes all the way back on edge into the white team zone. Katie German will collect it in along the end boards, goes back behind her own goal. Katie German puts it in along the far boards. That's swept over. Ceballos trying to get to it. That all the way over. Bryce has it. Now gains the zone for the blue team. Bryce outside the near circle. And stolen away by Thomas. Thomas with a good feed ahead. Gets it over to Rubin. Rubin able to avoid Matthews' pressure. Gets it onto the near circle. Trying to chase over to it is Goldman. That collected by Matthews. Matthews has it for the blue team in their own zone. Tipped by Kolwich. Kolwich trying to get it right back in. But that is going to be offsides. That'll come right back out into the neutral zone. 0-0 so far. 8:55 left to go. Here in this, the first period of the scrimmage, blue versus white team, as that is brought in as Malashevsky puts it in along the near boards. That pulled ahead by Izzy German. Izzy German right at the center line, puts it in along the far boards. Christensen lifts it high into the white team zone, into the far corner. Forehand sweeps it in along the far boards. Evans grabs it there. Evans takes it from the far corner. Evans moved over to Ceballos. Ceballos gets it back into the neutral zone, pulled away. Here comes Evans, who gains his own. Evans on the near circle. Evans trying to make her way in. Backhanded shot, but the goal was off. Trying to get it over to, that was Ceballos on the far circle. Good puck movement. 7:56 and counting here in this. The first quarter, scoreless so far. As Gargiulo taking the face-off versus Malashevsky. That puck back behind Ponith. As the white team putting it out in front, trying to get it over to Gargiulo. Puck wouldn't settle down. Mings with a shot. That knocked down by the defense out in front. That puck skitters all the way back into the white team zone. Katie German, Katie German has it. Bringing it down the far boards into the neutral zone. Katie German gains the zone. Katie German with a shot from the top of the far circle. Ponith, fantastic and steady between the pipes as always. She was an absolute rock star last season as a freshman for this team. She played lights out between the pipes. Ceballos to take the face-off for the white team. That comes back as Katie German has the puck outside the far circle. Centering attempt. And loose on the near circle. Picked up by the blue squad. Racing ahead with it is DeCreasy. DeCreasy, as that pulled away by Levinson. That sent all the way over. Excuse me, that was Ceballos. Grabbed. Here comes Proctor. Proctor at her own blue line. Proctor back over. Eliason puts it into the white team zone. Eliason has it in along the near boards. That puck loose. Levinson trying to get it top of the near circle. Levinson with a shot. Saved by Remelius. Still scoreless so far here in the first quarter. 6:11 left to go. Face-off will be to Romelius' right in the near face-off circle. Gargiulo in there versus Matthews, picked up by Lindahl. Lindahl goes high, slot now over onto the far circle. Lindahl with a shot. That was deflected by Kolwich. Lindahl goes back behind the goal. She banks it off the near boards, back to the near point to Bryce. Bryce with the shot. That knocked down out in front by Gargiulo. The puck still loose. Comes back to the blue line to Bryce. Bryce feeds it over to the far point. That's out in front. Lindahl with a shot. Knocked down. That one, Romelius gets it. Now here comes Swanson. Swanson gets it out of the zone as it goes on edge all the way down the ice into the near corner. Evans trying to get to it as the puck into the far corner. Swanson trying to feed it back. Simmer steals that away, gets herself into neutral zone. Simmer has that knockdown. Puck popped up high in the neutral zone. Now right to the blue team's blue line. That shot in by Evans. Honeth will just stop it and cover it up as Swanson was crashing the crease. Well, we will do our best to broadcast the Michigan women's hockey games both home and away all season long, as many as we can. We can't guarantee we can make all of them because I do still have that day job to do, which gets in the way, but we'll do our absolute level best to bring you Michigan women's hockey all season long. It's a fantastic team and definitely deserves lots more love. That coming around, Rubens puts it outside into the near corner. Izzy German sweeps it over. Goldberg feeding it ahead. Here comes the blue team. That puck loose. Williams trying to get to it. Rubin tried to pull it away. Now Malashevsky bringing it down the near boards. Malashevsky gains the zone. On the near circle, Malashevsky sends it out. That pull banked off of the far boards. Now coming the other direction with it is Goldman. Goldman over center ice. Excuse me, that's Manning. As that is going to be offsides, I believe. .355 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. As Gargiulo will take the face-off versus Eliasson. That puck in along the far boards as Goldman has it deflected away. And it's sent along the near boards. Gathered in there, forehand. Gets it ahead to Thomas. Thomas sweeps it in along the near boards as Izzy German puts it along the far boards, trying to pick it up. Here comes Proctor. Proctor through the neutral zone. That deflected away. Kolwich over to Thomas. Thomas gains the blue team's zone. Thomas with a shot. Rising shot. Blocker save by Honeth. Back to the far point. And puck was deflected back behind. Thomas has it behind the goal, trying to put it out in front. That puck gathered back as Goldberg puts it into the far corner. Picked up there. The blue team has it back behind their own goal. Now fed into the neutral zone. As that puck skitters all the way back into the white team zone, into the far corner. Forehand has it there. Stolen away as that's brought back behind, setting up Levinson on the near circle. Puck Winsell down for her. And pulled away by Ceballos. Over to Levinson. Levinson trying to get to that. Simmer puts it into the white team zone, but quickly the other direction is forehand. Forehand has that tipped away. The puck outside the near circle. Now bringing it Kolwich. That intercepted by Simmer with a shot from the far circle. And puck now deflected off the far boards. Bryce holds it in at the far point. Banks it back outside the far circle. That lifted back into the neutral zone. Levinson slides back to her own blue line, then feeds it ahead, trying to get it over to Lindahl. And just out of her reach. Forehand has it back behind her own goal. Forehand ricochets it off the boards and into the far corner. Here comes Matthews with it down the far boards. Now the white team gets it out into the neutral zone. Levinson has it at her own blue line. Ahead to Matthews. Matthews, top of the near circle. Now Matthews going in along the end line, back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Evans over to Williams. Williams gets it back to the far point. Bryce holds it in. Now Williams has that knocked away by Gargiulo. Gargiulo battling and along the boards right in front of her own bench. Picked up by Malashevsky. Malashevsky as it knocked away. The puck bouncing. Here's Gargiulo, who has it at her own blue line. She gets it over to forehand along the near boards. Now that's zipped over to Christensen. The puck deflects off the far boards. Now bringing it in, Gargiulo has it. Backhanded pass to the high slot. Poked away from Manning by Levinson. Levinson goes over her own blue line. Levinson feeds it all the way back and along the end boards as the blue team goes for a line change. As that deflected off the near boards, here comes Ceballos. Ceballos gets it to Rubin. Rubin brings it in into the near corner. That pulled back by McCarthy. McCarthy fires it in along the far boards, trying to get it over. Now here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy over the center line into the zone. Shot that banked off and along the far boards. Thomas gets it ahead. Ceballos. Get it over to Goldman. Ceballos, brings it in. Feeds it to Mings at the far point. Mings shot. That went off of a skate of Lindahl. Lindahl again blocks it with her skate. Ceballos with a shot trying to get through. Izzy German got it first, but now the second shot. Poneth had to get it. And little bit of fake scuffling down there as Thomas getting a few of her teammates in a little bit of joyous teammate roughhousing there. As 5 minutes up on the clock, no scores so far between either of these squads, the blue and the white. We'll step away. We'll play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band and come back with your second period action. Looks like the clock is counting down from a higher time because they're not stopping the clock or anything of that nature. So we will be right back. How about fantastic goaltending? How about a little temptation? as we are at the first intermission here at Yost Ice Arena, looking down on Red Berenson Rink, where it is the blue team and the white team battling as Team Scrimmage. Free admission if you're in the Ann Arbor area, come on down. We'd love to see you. Lots of folks gathered right underneath us, and we are very, very grateful. Thank you to everyone who couldn't make it, who are watching or listening wherever you are at. We have both a video stream as well as an audio stream. If you need to be on the road or whatnot, just scroll underneath the video stream on arborbroadcasting.com and you'll see that Spreaker audio stream that you can listen to. That way you can drive safe and still listen to your Michigan women's hockey. As we head into the second period, looks like Honeth is going to stay down to the right, so she is now going to be playing goaltender for this period for the white squad as face-off Rubens. Ruben wins it over along the far side. Here comes Swanson. Swanson has it top of the far circle. Shot coming loose on the far circle. Trying to pull it away is Williams. Puck, Swanson has it pinned against the boards. Ruben trying to pull that away. That gathered in right in the slot. Here comes Bryce. Bryce down the near boards in the neutral zone. Bryce gets it ahead. Katie German trying to pull that into the near circle. Christian following her into that near corner. And Ruben trying to dig in the near corner for it as they battle. Christian in there, coming back at puck. Fed ahead. Here comes Swanson over the neutral zone. Swanson gains the zone. Swanson onto the near circle with the shot. As good pad save comes off to the near side by Remelius. That puck deflects into the far corner as Ceballos trying to pull that away. Now Williams banks it off the far boards, tries to get it out. But I think that went off of a player who was trying to get on the bench over there. That is going to be an offsides as it tried to deflect in. Or no, too many men on the ice, or too many players on the ice. That's what I thought it might have been. So that will be a power play for the blue team as they will have a member of the white squad go into the box. That's going to be Swanson, one of the many wonderful freshmen who've come onto the team this year. 8 freshmen, 1 grad student new to the team this season, as it's some of the wonderful Sia chants and whatnot underneath. That's a shot that Poneth saves outside the far circle as Manning sends it bouncing down the ice, gathered in by Levinson. Levinson right in front of her goal, sends it along the near boards. Here comes Eliason over her own blue line. Eliason goes over center ice, gets it over to Proctor. Proctor, top of the far circle. Proctor on the far circle, skates back behind the goal. Proctor into the near corner, comes outside the near circle. Proctor feeds it to Levinson at the near point as Kolwich trying to knock it away. Proctor now on the near circle, into the corner as DeCreasy put it out in front, but that was deflected all the way back. Skittering puck to the blue team's blue line. Levinson has it. Levinson spins back deeper into her own zone, waiting for the team to get a line change. Here comes Eliason. Eliason has it. Poked away from behind. Levinson steals it back in along the far boards of her own zone. Levinson ahead to Eliason, down the near boards, over center ice. Eliason dumps it into the white team zone. Forehand has it along the far board. She fires it down right to the center line. As that puck is going to be a puck drop. And again, another too many players on the ice as that was fired towards the bench and caught one of the blue team members who was trying to get off the ice on a line change. So we have offsetting. Too many players on the ice. We'll have a little 4-on-4 hockey again. Penalties not up on the scoreboard, but that comes back over. Kolwich has it. Kolwich with a shot in the glove. Save by Remelius. Kolwich with a shot from the edge of the near circle, right off of the face-off. Good, dangerous shot. 21 minutes, 28 seconds, counting down again. They put a little extra time on each of these periods because they're not stopping the clock. for whistles or things of that nature. Bright's trying to get it back. And slips into the neutral zone. Mings trying to get it. That pulled down by Lindahl. Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl into a slot shot. Oh, and that was a blocker save by Poneth. Matthews has it in the far corner. Matthews outside the far circle. Sends it back to the far point. Izzy German with the shot. Poneth with the save. Scoreless so far. 20 minutes and 52 seconds counting down here in the second period of this blue versus white scrimmage. Again, thank you very much for your support of these wonderful players. Check them out all season long. Get to Yost to watch them. That bounces right into the crease. Poneth able to cover it up. As now the white team is back to full strength. They'll have a short power play on the blue team. They also have the face-off in the blue team's zone. The white team zone. I get confused because again, Poneth is wearing the blue team's jersey, but she's playing for the white team in this second period. Brought back. Here comes Ruben. Ruben has it. It's center ice. Ruben gets it ahead. Manning tips it. That comes back over to Izzy German, who rockets it all the way down the ice. That was tipped into the near corner. Poneth pointing at it, but that brought over by Katie German. Katie German now comes down the far side of the ice over her own blue line. Katie German ahead to Manning. Manning in the high slot. Manning over on the near circle. Bad shot deflected by Reed right back behind underneath the far circle. Trying to get it back to the near point. Nobody home. That slips all the way back. Thomas has it on her own zone. Thomas gets it ahead. Trying to move it over for Mings. That's stolen away. Coming in with it is Malashevsky. Malashevsky underneath the goal line. Goes back behind the goal. Malashevsky on the near circle. Trying to spin and shoot. That knocked away. Good job by Goldman to get a stick in there. Malashevsky still with it. Malashevsky's shot. That one knocked away by Goldberg. Right back into the neutral zone it goes. Reed sweeps that across the ice. Now ahead to Malashevsky as she collides with Katie German and gets the worst of it. And back again to Reed right at the center ice. Both teams back to full strength now. As trying to grab it. Mings with the white team now. That fired down by Katie German. Reed stops it, flips it over. Now here comes Eliason. Eliason gains the zone down the far boards. Eliason, top of the far circle, slips into the slot. Shot! That's sticked away by Poneth into the far corner. Over to Proctor. Proctor trying to make her way into the low slot. That deflects back behind the goal. Eliason trying to fire it out in front. But good job by the defense to sweep that away. Katie German got a stick on it. Right back behind the goal. Proctor trying to do a wraparound attempt. That poked down. Now DeCreasy sends it outside the near circle. That brought back by Proctor at the near point. Proctor puts it into the near corner. Katie German has it there. Katie German trying to send it out into the neutral zone. That slips back. Now here comes Izzy German pulling it right back into the white team zone. Izzy German feeds it back to the far point to Levinson. Levinson puts it back into the far corner for Izzy German. Izzy German skates her way through. Shot! And that went into the near corner. Still scoreless so far. 17:47 left to go here in the second period as Evans puts it along the near boards for the white team. Evans feeds it back. Now making her way ahead is Katie German. Katie German gains the zone for the white team. Katie German shot. That was blocked by Izzy German. Katie German trying to feed it out in front, and that covered up by Remelius. Both teams with some fantastic opportunities. Both goaltenders have been playing lights out. As now there is a penalty on the blue team. As Izzy German has to go in. That's going to be a hooking call. So Izzy German called for hooking at the 17-minute mark. That will put the blue team on a power play as those penalty box doors, every ice rink we go to, sometimes they just, that little button that you press down with your stick sometimes just don't like to work. So Izzy German needs to have a seat in the penalty box for a few moments on a hooking call. That gathered input. Here comes Kolwich. Kolwich in along the near boards, back to the near point. Kolwich with a shot. as that went off of a skate. Trying to pull it down is Evans. Evans back over to Kolwich. Kolwich with another shot. Again, that went off of the skate and pulled back by McCarthy. That puck sent all the way down the ice. Stopped and gathered in by Kolwich. Kolwich starts the rush for the white team again. Kolwich over on blue line. Kolwich over center ice. Kolwich trying to feed it along the far boards. That grab by Bryce. Bryce trying to get it out of her own zone. Wouldn't go. Now Evans has it top of the far circle. Evans spinning with it. Evans. Her shot went off of a skate straight. Trying to slip through. Kolwich trying a shot from the inner corner of the near circle. Couldn't get everything on it as she was falling back behind. And that puck goes on edge all the way back into the white team zone. Bonnet stops it there. Forehand goes back behind her own goal. Forehand coming down the far side of the ice. Forehand goes over her own blue line. Forehand feeds it ahead, trying to get it over to Manning. That brought back. The white team has to touch up to avoid offsides, delayed offsides, as Shabayons has it. Now here comes the blue team shot, as that was a beautiful shot and a pad save. Kicking that leg out was Poneth for the save. Proctor has it for the blue team. Proctor skates all the way around, back behind the goal, slips it right through the crease. Blue team not able to get a stick on it. Now here comes the white team as Manning puts it ahead all the way back into the near corner. That will be icing and head back into the white team zone. 14:50 left to go here in the second. 0-0 so far from Yost Ice Arena. Always fun to get to do a day game here as well. Not too many day games. You actually get to see the, well, it's a gray sky out there today, but you get to see the light coming through the windows here. Gives it a little different atmosphere. Lindahl wins that back to Reed in the high slot. Reed trying to fire it ahead. That pulled down by Katie German. Katie German battling right at the near point. Gets that ahead as coming in with it. Here comes Sabayons. Sabayons at the far point. Sabayons puts it outside the far circle. Trying to pull that back. Here comes Gargiulo. Gargiulo on that far circle. Gargiulo trying to put it into the slot. Pulled down by Lindahl. Lindahl make her way ahead. That brought right back in. Good job by Sabayons. That shot, ooh, that could not have felt good as Gargiulo's shot went off of, I believe that was Levinson's skate. And here comes a breakaway. Lindahl with a shot. No goal. Is that deflected off? The puck's still loose. Trying to cover it up. Poneth gets a skate on it. But Lindahl with a sniper shot that just couldn't find its way in. I believe that one rang off a bit off of that crossbar. $13-15 and counting here in the second. Face off in the white team zone. As that back to the near point, McCarthy firing it out in front as Malashevsky trying to get her stick on it. But Poneth got her glove on it first. That will be a face-off again on the near face-off circle. That to Poneth's left. As Goldberg trying to get that puck, wouldn't settle down for McCarthy. Here comes the white team bringing it ahead. As here comes Sabayons. Sabayons top of the near circle. Getting it back over to Kolwich. A shot and a save by Remelius. Oh, I believe Thomas got a stick on it, deflecting it right out in front. And Remelius able to get her glove on it. Lots of offensive firepower, but the goalkeepers have been amazing. Both goalies have played lights out. Bryce feeds that back to the blue line. Kolwich keeps it in now. Over Christensen, comes down the near boards, gains his own. Christensen trying to get it over to Matthews. There's a shot that was brought back by Malashevsky. Now coming ahead with it. Goldberg puts it deep into the blue team zone. Izzy German has it in the far corner of her own zone. Izzy German sweeps it out to the far point, held in by Evans. Now the blue team gathers it. Christensen trying to get it. That poked away by Kolwich for the white team. Kolwich gathers it into the zone. Kolwich takes a shot. Remelius sticks that into the near corner. Swanson trying to pull it away from Bryce. Swanson gets it back to Kolwich. Top of the near circle with a shot. Gathering it in the body and covering it up is Remelius. 11:26 and counting here in the second. Face off in the near face off circle. That to Romelius' right. Rubin in to take the face off. Versus, I believe that's Eliason. Back over to Mings. Mings deflects it into the near corner. Izzy German sweeps it all the way around the boards. Mings trying to hold it in at the far point. That deflected off of the far boards, coming the other direction. Rubin sweeps it back. Here comes Katie German at the center line. Katie German puts it into the blue team zone. Rubin trying to peel that away, but that fired down the ice. Mings has it at her own blue line. Mings has that deflected away. Here comes Proctor, who sold away. Proctor into the white team zone. Shot Bonnet with the save. Proctor with a good rifle shot from the near circle. Bonnet able to see it all the way and just track it into the glove and cover it up. The Michigan Stormtrooper is here. You see the Michigan Stormtrooper all around in that nice winged helmet and the block M there. So good to see lots of folks showing up as the face-off comes back over. There's a shot by Bryce. Now Simmer trying to get it out in front. Another shot. Covered up. Honeth again. An absolute brick wall down there. Face-off to Ponitz, left in the near face-off circle. Matthews with the face-off. Ceballos puts it right back behind the goal into the far corner. Forehand trying to sweep it over as that is grabbed, sent out in front. Manning trying to get to it, but it was just out of her reach. Now bringing it back in is Simmer with the blue team. Simmer outside the near circle, into the near corner. Kolwich runs her off of the puck. That puck back and along the near boards outside that near circle. As Ceballos gets that back over to Kolwich. Kolwich sends it to Gargiulo. Gargiulo over the center ice. Gargiulo gains the zone. Gargiulo on the far circle. She gets a shot saved by Romelius. That goes right back behind the white team's goal. Or the blue team's goal, excuse me. Again, it confuses me because the goalies aren't switching as far as their sweaters go. That puck outside the near circle. Now Kolwich trying to take a shot. Now Ceballos has it poked away. That went off of escape, picked up by Reed. Reed gets it ahead to Simmer on the near circle of her own zone. Simmer feeds it all the way out to Lindahl. Lindahl trying to make the move. Forehand trying to take it away. Lindahl goes low slot. Good job to get the skate out and knock it away by Ponith. All the way back. The blue team has it deep into their own zone. As that moved over along the near boards ahead to Christensen. Christensen on that near circle. Christensen with a shot, and that glove down by Ponith. 8:26 left to go. As a counting clock out there for us. Face-off in the near face-off circles. That's going to be Goldberg versus Malashevsky. Back to the near point. Levinson with a shot. Ponith able to see it. Stick that right into her pads and cover it up. Malashevsky versus Goldberg. Back to Levinson at the near point. Levinson puts it onto the far circle for Williams. Williams back to the far point for Izzy German. Izzy German shot that knocked down out in front by Katie German. Stolen away. Christensen with a shot that just goes wide. Pulling it back. That's centered all the way back. Levinson with a quick shot. Oh, that went off of Goldman's foot. She had lifted that foot up for a second in paint. Now she's skating down. Thomas has it at the far point. Trying to pull it off of the boards with a quartet of players down there, including Goldberg. That swept back into the neutral zone. Katie German pokes it into the blue team zone. But now that brought the other direction by Izzy German. Izzy German goes on to the far circle. Izzy German into the far corner. Now brings it outside the far circle, back to the far point. As racing down Swanson, she had her pocket pick. Now coming down the other side, here comes Evans. Evans has it on the near circle. Evans using her body to protect the puck. Matthews trying to steal it away. Evans gets it back at the far point. Now she comes high slot, moving over onto the near circle. That sticked away by Bryce. Knocking away Evans' shot. The puck loose on the near circle. Trying to get to it as Manning sweeps it in along the near, or excuse me, that was Swanson sweeping it in along the near boards. 6:36 left to go. as there is going to be a power play as tripping the call. So again, that one, that penalty box has been a little persnickety as they get it in. As trying to plead her case was Eliason in the penalty box. Colwich has it at the near point, puts it into the near corner. And gathered in, coming down the far side. Goldman back to the far point to forehand. Her shot went off of Proctor's skates. That brought all the way back, right back behind Romelius. Now Gargiulo switches directions underneath the far circle. Gargiulo. Now gets it over to Colwich. Colwich in the high slot. Colwich trying to feed it forward. That deflected off. Coming the other direction is DeCreasy. DeCreasy. Puck one cell down for her. Now Manning comes back the other direction for the white team. And pulled in by Gargiulo. Gargiulo outside the far circle. Gargiulo back behind the goal. Now comes over to the near side. Gargiulo, wide angle shot. That outside the far circle as Swanson fires it all the way down the ice. Able to clear it. Ponnet stops it into the far corner. Power play for the white team. Trying to get it out in front. That brought back down. Now Goldman trying to hold it in. That knocked down. Thomas trying to poke it away from Matthews. That back. Matthews comes top of the near circle. Now over to Levinson. Levinson trying to skate away. That puck comes back to Bryce. Bryce trying to bring it up the ice. Trying to set things up for a shorthanded goal. That deflected off of a defender. Pond gets it over to Forehand. Forehand back behind her own goal. Forehand over to Goldman along the near boards. Goldman sends it cross ice over on the far side to Colwich. Colwich over to Thomas. Thomas puts it right at the center of the ice. Now bringing it down is Goldman. Brought back. Goldberg brings it in. Goldberg top of the near circle. Goldberg makes a move into the near corner. Goldberg knocks it off the far board, or knocks off the near boards and skates over to the far boards. The puck all the way down right in front of the blue team's bench, gathered in there by Katie German ahead to Evans. Evans gains the zone. Evans, top of the near circle, continues down. Wide angle shot knocked down. And brought over, shot by Swanson. Battle for the puck in the low slot. Still trying to get to it. Romelius able to get her glove on it. 3:52 left to go here in the second. Remember, it was number 17 Matthews who had the point lead last season. That puck into the far corner for Swanson. Swanson underneath the far circle. Oh, trying to move it over. Evans trying to get that centering pass. But just couldn't stuff it into the goal all the way back to Poneth on the white team zone. Brought back over on the far circle, knocked away by Katie German. Katie German getting it away from Lindahl. Now Simmer trying to hold it in. Gets it back over to Izzy German. That knocked away. Poneth covering it up. As Mings was right on her doorstep on the far side of the crease. Still scoreless so far. Both teams back to full strength. 2:50 left to go. It took a little bit for the offense to get going last season as they had a couple shutouts in the first couple games. That's a shot that's covered up by Poneth. As it wasn't until game 4 Michigan was able to get on the board last season, hoping to get their offense up to a more explosive start. Controlled by the blue team, swept down the far boards, bringing it in forehand in her own zone, trying to knock it the other direction. Izzy German races back outside the far circle of her own zone. Izzy German bringing it ahead as she moves it over her own blue line, gets ahead to Simmer. Simmer has it, a good poke check away from her by Colwich, but able to send it back, right back behind Poneth. Forehand has it underneath the far circle. Forehand ahead to Gargiulo. Gargiulo all the way back into the neutral zone. Reed has it there. Reed cross ice pass, that brought in by Izzy German. Now forehand trying to knock it out of the zone, battling with Izzy German at the far point. Now we have quintet, I believe, of players over there trying to knock that away, digging right in front of the bench right in front of Coach Upton this year. And knocks in along the near boards. Gathered and knocked the other direction. Fired the other direction by the white team. Picked up by Reed. Reed moves it ahead to Williams. Williams gets it over on the far circle to Matthews. Matthews with a shot. And knocked off the side of the net. And along the far boards. Trying to lift it all the way back. That puck back into the white team zone. Reed racing back to get it. Puck wouldn't settle down. Levinson knocks it away. That into the far corner. As Goldberg trying to get it. Centering pass. Levinson knocks that back into the neutral zone right in front of the scorer's bench. Now Colwich rockets it the other direction. That puck is going to be icing. Come back the other direction. 37 seconds left to go. Still scoreless so far here in the second period. Face-off will be Deponis left in the near face-off circle. Eliason in, taking the face-off versus Goldberg. And puck outside the near circle. Shot by Proctor, taken back as DeCreasy trying to get it over to Eliason. Knocked away by the white team. Goldman had it. Now that rocketed right back deep by Levinson into the far corner for Proctor. Proctor trying to get it over to DeCreasy. And back to the far point. Boy, that puck won't settle down. Knocked away from Reed. And that will do it. As racing over Thomas to try and get one last shot away, but couldn't make it happen. That will be scoreless so far through two. And that might be what we have for the scrimmage as both teams getting lined up. So scoreless scrimmage. Fantastic goalkeeping, good offense, getting some shots out there. But both Romelius and Poneth able to stand tall inside the crease. So let's take, as they have the best tradition in all of sports, the post-game handshake. If you are in the area and really close to Yost, they will do a meet and greet right afterwards. But let's talk about, let me add this up here. Let's talk about the next 5 games upcoming. Thursday, there will be a game. I'm not sure the time that we'll be back here at Yost Ice Arena. They have changed opponents. At one point in time, it was going to be Windsor, but they had to switch it over. It's going to be Bell Tire now playing on September 29th here at Yost Ice Arena. Then they head out to the Mount Clemens Ice Arena on October 1st to take on the Michigan State Spartans. That's the official beginning of the season. First ACHA game. That will be 2:30 at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. October the 2nd, they will be in facing Adrian. That will be at Arrington Ice Arena. That will be a 7 p.m. game. Then they will be October 8th and October 9th out at Lake Superior State up in the Sioux. Saturday, that will be a 7 p.m. game. And Sunday, that will be a noon game. Check out the redesigned Michigan Women's Hockey website for more information. Keep an eye on the schedule, and always check out arborbroadcasting.com. We will have as many of these games broadcast for you as we possibly can, as we love to support this absolutely amazing team. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you. We're looking forward to a wonderful season with all of you excellent folks. Thank you for your support of this team. Get out to the rink when you can, and when you can't, listen in or watch it. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. We will return with Pioneer Sports action on Wednesday. Thank you and good night.